Hi, it's Dr. Bob Graykowski, creator of the Better Brain Blueprint. Today we're talking about what we put into our brain. We have to stand guard in the door of our mind. On a daily basis, there's a bombardment of negative information. If you just turn on the television and watch the news for 5 minutes, you can see all the death and destruction that's taking place in the world. And it comes into not only our own home, but it comes into our brain. And then if we do that late at night and we keep thinking about that, it creates an anxiety response, that fight or flight response, so we don't sleep properly. If we aren't sleeping properly, then we toss and turn. Our body doesn't get into that lower delta state where our body heals and regenerates and processes all the information from the day. So day in and day out, day in and day out, it suppresses our immune system. It is so critical to really look at what you're putting into our brain. If we hear that, our brain is a memory organ. If we see something, it remembers that. It creates a memory process inside the brain, and it just keeps playing. You ever had a song on the radio that you're driving to work, and all of a sudden you hear this song, and the next thing you know, for the next hour, you keep singing, and that song's stuck in your head? Well, if you watch the news right before you go to sleep, what's happening is those visual images and the sounds are playing in your brain. If you have to watch the news, I would recommend that you're watching it in the middle part of your day when your brain can digest that a little bit more. Maybe during the noon hour at lunchtime to see if you really have to stay abreast of what's going on. But really look at filtering what you're putting into your brain. If you go on any of the internet news stations, it's got 40 different top news stories. And really look at how many of those are positive. You have a choice. You have a higher consciousness to decide what you want to actually watch. We as a society are addicted to this process. And unfortunately, bad news sells. We've got our phones. We've got constant communication, either from Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. And so feel like we are connected with its umbilical cord to what's happening in the world, but it's coming into our own world. Yet we feel disconnected. It is important to disconnect from some of those electronic problems and reconnect with those that you care about most. Your husband, your wife, your kids, your coworkers. Have a human-to-human interaction and get rid of the electronics this week. I really want you to take a challenge. I want you to take a 7-day period of time and disconnect from the news. If you had to disconnect from electronics completely, like phones and internet, that might be more difficult, but you have the capability of disconnecting from the news and see how it makes you feel this week. See how your emotions are and see how your stress level is at the end of the day. I can almost guarantee that you'll feel more calm, more peaceful, and you'll get a better night's sleep. So the Better Brain tip of the week is disconnect, do a 7-day news fast, and get more in touch with your family, yourself, and get a better night's sleep. This is Dr. Bob with another Better Brain tip. Have an awesome week.